Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
First, a word from our sponsor. The Daily Compliance News for November 21, 2022, the Schooled in Corruption edition. And we begin with that story as Attorney General Merrick Garland has appointed Jack Smith, a longtime Department of Justice prosecutor, to oversee 2 criminal inquiries involving former President Trump. Interestingly, the appointment of Smith was lauded by anti-corruption specialists, particularly when you consider Trump was the most corrupt president, as this prosecutor has worked in the International Court of Justice and has specific experience with corruption. So it looks like we got the right guy to prosecute the corruption of Trump. Next up from The Guardian, Imran Khan denies corruption over $2 million worth of state gifts given to him by the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia while he was the president or prime minister of Pakistan, when he allegedly sold a gold watch, gold pen ring, and cufflinks to pocket the money for himself, i.e. bribery and corruption. So I know it's hard to imagine a PM of Pakistan being accused of corruption, but here we are again. From the Wall Street Journal, the FIFA President defends the corrupt Qatar award of the World Cup by criticizing Europe. Pretty amazingly that someone from one of the most corrupt sports organizations would criticize Europe for being corrupt. But in an hour-long monologue on the eve of the tournament's opening game, he argued that Qatar's critics had failed to recognize the company's progress on workers' rights, human rights, selling beer, and their general corruption. So perhaps not too surprising from a group like FIFA. And finally, from the Financial Times, more confusion has reigned or is reigning at Twitter as over half of the employees left in the organization, i.e. not fired, took the package offered by Elon Musk. So you have to conclude, or at least have to question, is Musk doing this intentionally to destroy Twitter? It doesn't seem to be any rhyme or business reason or business justification for his strategy. And I've seen some pretty incredible numbers of employees who are left, as low as 200 to 300. Entire groups of employees have left. In fact, the reason they got locked out of their offices, they fired everybody who had key card access, and so they had to bring somebody back. Of course, their key card had been shut off, so it was a huge cluster all the way around. But Elon Musk continues his journey with Twitter. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.